I died choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal as sharp as the knife my husband plunged into my gut. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, spitting me back into my body 3 years earlier, heart pounding like a jackhammer in the humid air of that fateful 4th of July barbecue. And the first thing I saw? My son, Ethan, 7 years old and innocent as apple pie, fiddling with his new phone, accidentally capturing the moment that would unravel everything if I could just steer this second chance right. The smoke from the grill hung thick in the backyard, mingling with the sizzle of burgers and the laughter of our neighbors. The kind of all-American cookout that screams perfect life from every checkered tablecloth. It was 2022. Pre-pandemic hangovers still lingering in the air like bad regrets. And I was Scarlett Hayes, 35, yoga instructor by day, devoted wife and mom by night. Or so everyone thought. I just poured myself a gin and tonic, the ice clinking like tiny accusations, when Ethan came running up, his sneakers kicking up grass clippings, waving that damn phone like a trophy. "Mommy,
Look.
I filmed the fireworks setup." His gap-toothed grin lit up the twilight, but my eyes locked on the screen as he hit play. There it was, unblinking digital witness to the truth I'd buried under layers of denial. In the grainy footage, time-stamped 6:47 p.m., my husband, Jake, leaned over the cooler, his back to the camera, slipping a small vial into my unattended drink. The liquid swirled, colorless and insidious, before he stirred it with a casual flick of his wrist. He glanced around, that charming smile flashing for the oblivious guests, then sauntered back to flipping patties like nothing happened. My stomach dropped faster than a lead balloon. This wasn't some paranoid fever dream. It was evidence, raw and unfiltered, of the man I'd loved for a decade trying to poison me. Again. Because in my first life, the one that ended in a pool of my own blood in our master bathroom, I'd found out too late. Jake hadn't just cheated. He'd orchestrated my downfall for insurance money and a mistress half my age.
But now
I was back, lungs full of summer air instead of drowning in crimson. And the rage boiled up like the marinade on those ribs. I snatched the phone from Ethan's chubby fingers before he could rewind, my voice a forced chirp.
Whoa. Buddy.
That's super cool. Let's keep this our little secret for now. Okay? Mommy needs to show Daddy something. He nodded, oblivious, and scampered off to chase fireflies with the other kids. I pocketed the device, heart thundering, and scanned the yard. Jake was holding court by the grill, his broad shoulders straining against a faded Mets tee, regaling Tom from next door with some bullshit story about his big promotion at the firm. Lies on top of lies. The foundation of our marriage. 3 years ago, this barbecue had been the night it all went to hell in my original timeline. I'd sipped that tainted drink, felt the first dizzy waves hit during the fireworks, and woken up in the ER with Jake hovering like a concerned saint, whispering how I'd passed out from heat stroke. But I knew better even then. The nausea, the metallic tang that wasn't just gin. I'd confronted him months later, piecing together bank statements and hushed calls, only for him to gaslight me into thinking I was the crazy one. Therapy sessions, pills prescribed by his golf buddy the doc. Isolation from friends who didn't understand our bond. Until one night, after I'd threatened divorce and custody, he cornered me upstairs. "You think you can take Ethan from me? Over my dead body?" Scar. The knife came from the kitchen drawer, the one we'd bought on our honeymoon in Napa. One twist, and lights out. Waking up this morning, July 4th, 2022. 6 a.m. sharp, in our queen bed with Jake's arm slung over me like dead weight. I'd thought it was a nightmare. But the calendar on the nightstand confirmed it. Back before the poison. Before the blade. Before I'd signed over half my yoga studio to keep the peace. My hands trembled as I slipped out of bed, padding to the bathroom mirror. Same hazel eyes staring back. Same faint scar from childbirth on my abdomen. But the memories? They were mine alone. A arsenal loaded and ready. I couldn't tip my hand yet. Revenge wasn't a sprint. It was a marathon with pit stops for plausible deniability. Step 1. Secure the evidence. I ducked behind the shed, out of sight from the party, and airdropped the video to my cloud account, then deleted it from Ethan's phone. My fingers flew over the screen, encrypting it with a password only I knew, Traitor 2025, the year I died. Poetic, right? As the upload bar filled, I overheard Jake's laugh booming, fake as a politician's promise, and vowed right there, under the American flag flapping lazily from the porch, that he'd pay. Not with jail time, though that'd be too clean.
No.
I'd dismantle his world brick by brick, make him feel the isolation, the doubt, the slow poison of his own making. The evening wore on, stars popping like accusations overhead. I played the part refilling chips, complimenting Jake's grilling prowess, while my mind raced through timelines. In this reset, I had assets he didn't know about, the hidden savings for my studio gigs, socked away in a separate account under my maiden name, Scarlett Reed. I'd always been the saver, the planner. He was the dreamer who blew bonuses on fantasy football leagues and weekend benders. And the mistress? In my first life, she'd been Lisa from accounting, all blonde ambition and yoga pants tighter than my resolve. They'd shacked up in our house 6 months after my disappearance, staged as a hiking accident in the Catskills. I'd seen the police reports in my dying haze. Imagined Ethan calling her mommy while Jake cashed my $2 million life insurance. But secrets have a way of festering.
Tonight.
As the crowd thinned and tipsy aunts hugged goodbye, I cornered Ethan in the kitchen, away from the cleanup clatter. Hey, champ, remember that video? You didn't see anything weird in it, did you? He shook his head, munching a leftover hot dog. Just Daddy making drinks. Why? I ruffled his hair, forcing a smile. Just curious. You're my little detective. Huh. Inside, I seethed. At 7, he wouldn't grasp the monster in his father, but I'd shield him. This time, no therapy couches or custody battles. I'd vanish Jake first, figuratively, then literally if needed. By midnight, the house quieted, Ethan snoring in his Spider-Man sheets. Jake stumbled into bed, reeking of cores and charcoal, mumbling about best party yet. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, plotting. First move, tomorrow. I call my lawyer cousin in Jersey. Start quietly transferring assets. Divorce papers drafted, but held back, no. Better to bleed him slow. Hack his emails?
Nah.
Too risky without tech chops. But I had something better. The video. Leverage. I'd confront him not with tears, but with cold calculation. Make him squirm. Confess on tape. Then decide his fate. Dawn broke sticky and unforgiving. Coffee brewing like black tar in my veins. Jake shuffled downstairs in boxers, scratching his stubble, oblivious to the storm brewing. Morning. Gorgeous. Burgers hit the spot last night, right? I handed him a mug, My smile a razor edge.
Oh,
They were killer. Speaking of, I pulled out my phone, hit play. The footage filled the screen, his vile hand steady as a surgeon's. His face drained of color faster than milk in cereal. Mug clattering to the tile. Scar. What the fuck? Where'd you get that? His voice cracked. That salesman charm evaporating. I leaned against the counter, arms crossed, channeling every Lifetime movie scorned wife I'd ever binged. Ethan's phone. Kid's got an eye for drama. Care to explain why you're dosing my drink like it's a bad rom-com plot? He lunged for the phone, but I yanked it back. Already recording audio. Don't
touch it.
We're talking this out.
Jake.
All of it.
Lisa?
The insurance policy you upped last month without telling me? Or should I start with the hiking accident you planned for Labor Day? His eyes bulged, denial morphing to fury. You're delusional.
That it's
vitamins. For your stress. I was helping. Bullshit. And we both knew it. The vial was ricin, odorless, untraceable, sourced from some dark web rabbit hole he'd bragged about once. Drunk on bourbon. In my first life. The autopsy called it undetermined, but I'd overheard the whispers at my memorial. Poor Scar. Always so high-strung. I laughed. A hollow bark that echoed off the stainless steel. Vitamins.
Cute.
Save it for the judge. Or better yet, your new girlfriend. Pack your shit.
Jake.
You're sleeping on the couch till I figure out how to bury you without digging my own grave. He slumped into a chair, head in hands, the picture of a broken man. But I saw the wheels turning, calculating alibis, escape routes.
Ethan.
You can't take him from me. I'm his dad. Tears welled, a crocodile style. In another life, I'd have softened, hugged it out over couples counseling. Not this one. Ethan deserves better than a liar who poisons his mom for a payout. Get out. The next week's blurred into a tense standoff. Our colonial in Westport, Connecticut. A pressure cooker of passive-aggressive notes and slammed doors. I filed for separation quietly, citing irreconcilable differences, but fed the lawyer details in whispers. The video. Bank transfers to Lisa's account. $50K skimmed from our joint savings. Jake lawyered up fast. Some sleazy firm in Stamford. Countersuing for custody with affidavits painting me as unstable. Classic. He'd always been the gaslighter supreme. But I had cards up my sleeve. Sleepless nights poring over his laptop. Password cracked with his birthday. The fool, I uncovered the real rot. Emails to Lisa weren't just pillow talk. They detailed a Ponzi scheme he'd roped her into. Bilking clients at his brokerage for crypto scams. Millions funneled through offshore shells. All while preaching fiscal responsibility at our PDA meetings. The betrayal cut deeper than the knife. He'd used my good name, my yoga studio's wellness retreats, to lure marks. Scarlett's Serenity seminars, invest in peace of mind. Ads I'd greenlit. Blind trust in his side hustle. Worse, the buried secret that started it all. 10 years ago, fresh out of college, we'd backpacked through the Southwest. One night in a dusty Arizona motel, high on cheap tequila, we'd boosted a rival dealer's stash, coke worth $100K, to fund our fresh start. Jake's idea. My getaway car. We'd ditched it in the desert. Thought it buried forever. But he'd kept tabs, blackmailing the cartel remnants for protection fees. Escalating until they came calling. The poison? Not just greed, it was cleanup. They wanted me gone as the loose end, and Jake, ever the opportunist, volunteered. Rage fueled my days. I ramped up yoga classes, channeling fury into flows that left students breathless. Ethan noticed the shift. Mommy's super strong now. And I poured love into him. Bedtime stories laced with subtle lessons. Trust your gut.
Kiddo.
And always lock your phone. Jake slunk around like a ghost. Job hunting after I tipped off his boss anonymously. HR meetings, audits, his empire crumbled. The controversial turn came mid-August. Humidity clinging like guilt. Lisa showed up at the door, belly swollen under a sundress, pregnant. Jake's, she spat, eyes red-rimmed. He said you'd understand. We're soulmates. I invited her in, not for tea, but tea spilling. Over herbal chamomile. I played the video, watched her crumble. He's using you, Lisa. The money, the kid, it's all a con. Walk now, or sink with him. She bolted. But not before texting me screenshots, Jake's cartel chats. Threats to handle the bitch if I didn't sign the papers. Blackmail gold. My decision? Leak it. Not to cops, not yet. To his clients. A mass email from a burner. Your broker's a fraud. Check the attachments. PDFs of transfers. The works. By morning, lawsuits snowballed. His phone exploding. He burst into the kitchen, veins bulging. You crazy cunt. You'll ruin us all. Us? There is no us.
Jake.
Just you, rotting in the hole you dug. I stood tall. Ethan at summer camp. Safe. But the twist? As sirens wailed distant, feds raiding his office, he grabbed a letter opener from the drawer. Eyes wild. If I go down, you do too. That Arizona score? Your prince on the wheel. Lunges. Struggles, history echoing. But this time, I was ready. A quick knee to the groin. Then the phone dialing 911 mid-scuffle. My husband's attacking me. Help. Cops swarmed. Him cuffed and snarling.
Meet a victim again.
But true to form, he spilled an interrogation, the Ponzi, the cartel, the poison plot. Lisa testified, flipping for immunity. Her baby is no more. Trial dragged into fall, leaves turning like pages in a revenge novel. I testified cool as autumn air. The video projected for the jury, gasps rippling the courtroom. Jake's defense? She faked it all. Vengeful harpy. But the evidence stacked like cordwood. Convicted on attempted murder. Fraud. Conspiracy. Life without parole. The judges gavel a thunderclap. Ethan and I moved west. California's sun washing away Connecticut shadows. My studio boomed. In power flow, retreats drawing crowds. He calls me his hero now. Phone in hand. Filming sunsets instead of sins.
Me?
I wake without ghosts. But the scar twinges on cold nights, a reminder. Revenge wasn't sweet. It was necessary. Bitter as the gin I never touch. And in this life, we thrive. No twists left. Just forward.
No.
That was the lie I told myself under the palm trees. But truths have a way of clawing back. 6 months post-trial. As Ethan chased waves in Santa Monica and I signed leases for a beachfront studio, the call came. Blocked number. Voice like gravel over a bad connection. Senora Hayes? You think it's over? El Diablo says hello.
Cartel.
Jake hadn't gone down alone. He'd sung like a canary, naming me as the wheelwoman from '09. Loose end, indeed. Panic hit like a rogue set, salty, unrelenting. I'd buried that night deeper than the stash. Jake and I, 20-somethings drunk on freedom and folly, jacking a duffel from a Flagstaff lowlife to bankroll our wedding. One score.
Scar.
Then straight life. His words. My naivety. We'd torched the car in the Mojave, fingerprints be damned, and built our empire on that ash. But empires crack. I hung up, ocean-roaring mockery, and did what any reincarnated Avenger would, dig. Late nights in my new loft, laptop glowing like a confessional, I scoured dark corners. VPNs, throwaways, amateur hour. But desperation's a hell of a teacher. Forums whispered of La Viuda, the widow Jake's betrayal left behind, marked for a bullet in Tucson. They knew my face from mugshots, my habits from Jake's pillow talk. Lisa had blabbed too, spite her only child. Controversy brewed in my veins. Call the feds? Snitch on my past sin? That'd drag Ethan into foster limbo. Yoga mom turned felon.
No.
I'd end it my way, clean. Final. Step 1. Armor up. Private eye in LA. Ex-Marine named Ruiz, who didn't blink at hypothetical hits. For $20K, I can shadow. Warn him off. I paid in crypto. Untraceable tears. Ethan sensed the shift. His 8-year-old radar pinging. Mom. Why the new locks? Is Daddy coming back? Bedtime hugs tightened. Daddy's on a long trip.
Sweetie.
But we're safe. Promise.
Lies.
The currency of survival. Ruiz reported fast. 2 enforcers. Low-level Chihuahuans. Scouting my studio. Rough him up, he asked. My gut twisted. Violence begets violence. But mercy? That's what killed me first time. Decision time. The kind that stains souls. Make it hurt. But no bodies. Controversial? Hell yes. Vigilante justice in sunny SoCal. Yoga mats hiding brass knuckles. Ruiz cornered them in a Venice alley. Broke kneecaps with a tire iron. Whispered, "Tell your boss, Scarlett sends regards."
Next time.
It's biblical. They slunk south. Tails between legs. But the message? A flare in cartel skies. Breathing room bought. But paranoia nested. I ramp security, cameras. Concealed carry permit, California's a bitch. But money talks, and dove deeper. Jake's trial transcripts. FOIA'd. Revealed his deal. Reduced sentence for naming names. Including mine. Bastard traded my freedom for his. Letters from prison smuggled via Lisa, who I'd cut off cold, Scar. I did it for us. Forgive. Burned them in the sink. Ashes swirling like bad karma. Twist crept in October. Fog rolling off the Pacific like deceit. A package arrived, no sender. Just a USB and a Polaroid of Ethan at school. Swing set blurred. Plug it in. Heart in throat. Audio of Jake in lockup. Wheeling with a guard. She thinks she's clean. But that Arizona job? Feds got the VIN traced last year.
Chip in Anonymous. Collect the bounty.
Bounty? $50K from a cold case fund. He'd sell me out again. Even caged. Rage reignited. Hotter than Mojave noon. I visited him by Visalia State Prison. Sterile as a morgue. Through plexiglass. His face gaunt. Eyes hollow. Scarlet. You came,
Smug.
like I'd fold. I pressed the receiver. Voice steel. Heard you're shopping my past.
Cute.
But, remember the video? I kept copies. One email to the warden. Your deal evaporates. Cartel buddies inside? They'll love a rat. He blanched. Charm cracking. It's not like that. Protection. For Ethan.
Lies.
I leaned in, breath fogging the glass. Ethan's mine. You're done. Whisper my name again, and I'll whisper yours to every con in Gen Pop. Threats hung heavy, but power surged, reincarnated me didn't flinch. Back home, I ghosted the tip myself. Anonymous line to FBI's Southwest desk. Hayes 09 score, check VIN 3KX. Watch the news cycle spin. Cold case cracks open. No name yet, but ripples spread.
Cartel backed off.
Spooked by feds circling their asses. Lisa vanished. Rumors of a Vegas waitress gig. Clean slate? Almost. But controversy peaked Thanksgiving. Turkey roasting in my loft. Ethan drawing pilgrims with crayons. A knock, FBI badge gleaming. Agent Torres. Sharp suit. Sharper eyes. MS. Hayes, mind if we chat about a stolen vehicle from 2009? My blood iced. Jake's leak. Or fate's cruel joke. I played dumb. Herbal tea steaming. 2009? I was in college. Backpacking Europe. Life smooth as silk. He slid photos, the torch sedan. Our blurry figures in grainy gas station CCTV. Your prints on the dash. Husbands too. He's singing Says You Drove. Betrayals echo. I could have confessed. Plea bargained. But Ethan gobbled pie in the next room.
No.
Agent. That's ancient history. Jake's a liar. Attempted murder conviction? Check the docket.
Stall.
Torres pressed. But I lawyered up. The cousin from Jersey flying west. Plea? Hell no. Suppress the evidence. Chain of custody bullshit. Weeks blurred. Depositions. Motions. Media sniffed blood. Yoga guru linked to drug heist? Tabloids twisted. My studio bookings tanked. Clients whispered. Is it true? I faced them down. Flows fiercer. Past is past. Who's ready to warrior? Some fled. Others stayed. Loyalty's true litmus. Climax crashed Christmas Eve. Rain lashing windows like judgment. Torres called. Deal on the table. Immunity for testimony against the remnants.
Cartel cleanup.
Tempting. Wipe the slate. But testifying? Drag Ethan into lights. Relive the score on stands. Controversial choice. Take the deal. Expose the rot. Risk the glare. I signed. Voice steady in the conference room. For my son. Testimony in spring 23. Federal courthouse in Phoenix baking under sun. Cartel bosses in the dock. Me in witness box. Recounting the heist minus Jake's embellishments.
Young.
Stupid. Ran from bad boyfriends. Half-truths. But they stuck. Convictions rolled. RICO charges. Life bids. Freedom's aftertaste? Bitter victory. Studio rebounded. Redemption flows my bestseller class. Ethan. 9 now. Asked once. Mom. Were you bad? I knelt. Eyes level. We all mess up.
Kid.
But we fix it. That's strength. He nodded. Phone capturing beach bonfires. Secrets safe.
Jake?
Found shanked in his cell. Suicide, the official line.
Cartel payback.
Or inmate justice.
Didn't matter.
Twist's end. My buried sin unearthed. But I rose, phoenix from desert dust. Happy? Not fairy tale. Real, scarred. Wiser. Unbreakable. In America, second chances cost blood. But damn if they don't shine. Sun-bleached bones of the past rattled louder than I cared to admit, even as 23 faded into a haze of green juices and gratitude journals. The testimony had bought peace. Or so I thought. Cartel dismantled. Jake's ghost exorcised. But reincarnation's gift? Hypervigilance. A sixth sense humming like faulty wiring. Every shadow in my Santa Monica loft whispered, "What if?" And Ethan's laughter, once bomb, now sharpened the edge of my paranoia. Summer 23 hit like a heat wave of reckoning. Studio thrived, but whispers lingered. That yoga chick with the mob ties? I doubled down. Launching a podcast, breathed through betrayal, raw tales of survival. Anonymized but laced with my venom. Listeners ate it up. Downloads spiking. Sponsors calling. Money flowed. Enough to hire a nanny. Rosa, who doted on Ethan like the abuela he never had. Senora Scarlett, you carry the world, she'd say, folding laundry with calloused hands. If only she knew how heavy. The next betrayal slithered in subtly. A serpent in Eden's garden. Rosa's nephew, Miguel, mid-20s.
Tattooed charm.
Hired as a handyman for studio repairs. Tia says you're tough. I like tough. Flirtatious wink. But I clocked the cartel ink peeking from his sleeve. Aztec skull. Same as the enforcer's Ruiz roughed up. Coincidence? In my world, no such thing. I played coy, assigning grunt work, painting walls, fixing leaks, while Ruiz tailed him. Reports came encrypted. Kids cleanish. X low level. Flipped for witness protection. But he's asking questions about you. The trial. My skin crawled. Protection program glitch? Or plant? Testing waters for unfinished business? Nights. I'd pace the loft. Pacific crashing judgment below. Mind replaying the reset, that barbecue video. Ethan's innocent capture. Jake's vile hand frozen in pixels. If only I'd smashed the phone then. Or poisoned him first, controversial what-ifs. Dark as the gin I'd sworn off.
But no.
I'd chosen exposure. Law's slow grind.
Now.
Echoes. Miguel pushed boundaries. Lingering after shifts. Offering unsolicited massages post-class. You hold tension here. Thumb pressing my trapezius. Too intimate. I shrugged him off. But curiosity, or stupidity, kept him on. Leverage. I told myself. Probe for intel. One evening. Post-flow. Studio emptying. He cornered me in the supply closet. Door ajar. Scarlett, I know who you are.
La viuda.
But I ain't here to hurt. My family's scattered. Your testimony did that. I need work. Real work. Help me. Eyes pleaded, but lies gleam. I feigned sympathy. Voice honeyed. Help how? Feds own you now. He spilled then. Breath hot. They cut me loose. But debts linger. Jake owed big before he snitched. They think you got the stash hidden. From '09. Stash. We'd burned it. But rumors die hard. My laugh was brittle. Ghost story. Miguel. Walk away.
He didn't.
Next day. Ethan came home from camp with a bruise. Fell off the monkey bars. But Rose's eyes darted. Boys being boys. Bullshit. I confronted her over tamales. Steam rising like accusations. Your nephew touched my son? Tears welled.
He
Asked about you. Said if you don't pay. Ethan pays. Extortion. Family style. Rage crested. Tsunami force. Controversial calculus. Mercy or massacre. Call cops. Risk exposure. Witness protection breaches federal. Or handle it DIY. Vigilante redux. I chose the shadows. Texting Ruiz. Neutralize. Permanent. 50 grand wired. No questions. That night, Miguel vanished, body in the Channel Islands. Boating accident per the news. Rosa quit. Sobbing apologies. Deported quietly with my severance. Guilt gnawed. A rat in the walls. Was I Jake now? Poisoner of futures? Ethan's drawings shifted, stick figures with sad faces. Why mommy cries? I hugged tighter. Promising beaches forever. But the twist loomed. Autumn winds carrying omens. November brought the storm. Podcast blew up. A guest spot on Joe Rogan. From betrayal to bulletproof, they build. I flew to Austin. Nerves electric. Ethan with a sitter. Stage lights blinded. Rogan's beard a fuzzy halo. Scarlett, you stare down death, twice. What's the secret? I leaned in. Mic hot. Revenge isn't justice, it's survival. But it costs your soul. Off-air. Buzz hit. Admirers. Creeps. One email stood out. Subject. The real reset. Sender. Ghost in the machine at Proton. I know about the reincarnation. July 4th, 2022. You died in 25. Want proof? Heart seized.
How?
I replied cautious. Who is this? Chain unfolded over days. Screenshots of my death. Obit from Stanford Advocate. Scarlett Hayes. 38. Tragic fall in Catskills. Jake's staging. Flawless. Then. Forum posts I'd never seen. Time slip survivor? Barbecue poison vid leaks. Someone else remembered? Or hacker? PSYOP? Meet in person. They demanded neutral ground. LAX coffee shop. I arrived armed. Ruiz in a van outside. She was there, mid-40s. Sharp bob. Eyes like chipped ice. Name's Elena. Ex-Fed. Profiler. Saw your trial. Dug deep. Hypnosis sessions, past life regression. You match. The knife. The blood.
The
Return. Bullshit or breakthrough. She slid a file, transcripts of her sessions. Verbatim my deathbed thoughts. Ethan. Run. Echoed in a stranger's trance. Collective unconscious? Or glitch in the matrix? Either way, you're not alone. Controversy incarnate. Time loops. Souls recycling. I laughed. Manic. Great. Now I'm in a sci-fi flick. But proof mounted. She had the vile analysis, Ryson confirmed, from Jake's effects. And a tape. Him confessing to her undercover. Pre-trial. Scarlett came back wrong. Knows too much. Undercover? Twist upon twist. Elena wasn't fed. She was Lisa's sister. Vengeance her creed. He ruined us all.
But you?
You're the key. Alliance formed, uneasy as wet sand. We plotted, exposed the cartel's U.S. tentacles, use my platform. Podcast episodes dropped bombs. whistleblowers, encrypted drops. Feds swarmed anew. But this time, I directed the raid. Miguel's accident tied to a hit squad. Rosa's flight a breadcrumb. Climax detonated New Year's Eve. Times Square ball dropping like fate's hammer. Elena and I crashed a gala black tie. Cartel money laundered through LA. Real estate. Infiltrators. Wires hot. Big fish. El Jeef's lieutenant. Schmoozing donors. We cornered him in a coat room. Champagne flutes clinking doom. To loose ends, I toasted. Ruiz bursting in with badges. Our Fed plant. Chaos. Gunfire popping like fireworks. Guests screaming. I shielded Elena. Bullet grazing my arm. Echo of the knife. Warm trickle. Cops swarmed. Lieutenant cuffed. Empire crumbling. Media frenzy. Yoga Avenger busts cartel. Aftermath. Wounds healed. Scars layered. Elena vanished into protection. A ghost sister. My podcast pivoted. Soul Survivors. Exploring the impossible. Ethan. 10. Filmed episodes. Camera his shield. Mom's a superhero. But the real controversy? In quiet moments, I wondered, was the reset real? Or madness?
Proof blurred.
But power remained. Betrayals buried. Secrets unearthed. I'd won. Soul intactish. America dreams big. I lived it. One vengeful breath at a time. By spring 24, the high faded, leaving a hollow ache like post-flow crash. Cartel dust settled. Headlines yellowed. But my reflection? Harder edges. Eyes holding storms. Ethan thrived, soccer star. Phone a extension of his hand. Capturing goals and grins. Mom. Delete the old vids, he'd ask. Innocence piercing. I'd nod. But kept backups. Digital phylacteries against forgetting. Success swelled. Book deal. Reborn in rage. Memoir minus the metaphysical. Ghosted by a New York editor who called it Gone Girl meets Eat Pray Love. Advances bought a Malibu compound. Waves lapping security. But isolation crept. Friends scarce. Trust a luxury lost. Dates? Swiped right once. Bolted at the bar when he mentioned hiking. Catskills trigger, I joked. Fleeing to salt air. The final betrayal brewed domestic. Insidious as fog. Rosa returned, unannounced. At the gate. Eyes hollowed by border hell.
Señora, por favor.
Miguel was family.
But you saved me.
Let me clean. Cook. Desperation's perfume. Against Ruiz's growl, bad juju, I relented. Ethan lit up. Abuela. Loyalty's blind spot. She settled in. To Molly's steaming nostalgia. Stories of Michoacan lulling Ethan. But nights. I'd catch her on the landline. Whispers in Spanish. Receiver clicking like a gun. Paranoia? Or pattern? One dawn. Post-run. I swiped her phone unlocked.
Careless.
Text to a burner. She's here.
The boy too.
Jeef wants coordinates. Betrayal redux.
Kin to kin.
Heart fractured. Ethan's abuela. My soft underbelly. Confrontation simmered. But controversy demanded craft. Call ICE? Deport again. Scar him?
No.
I'd extract truth. Twist the knife myself. That night. Over wine, Shiraz. Not gin. I played the recordings, her voice. Time-stamped. Rosa.
Why?
After everything? Tears cascaded. Rosary clutched. They own me. Scarlet. Miguel's death, blood debt. Give up the stash, they leave us. Myth persisted. That phantom coke fueling feuds. There is no stash. Burned in '09. Hysteria edged my cry. She lunged then, not for me, but the knife block. Desperation's edge. Then you die. Like him, struggle blurred, granite counters bruising. Ethan's door creaking open upstairs. Mommy, terror's squeak. I wrenched free, pinning her with a yogi's grip. Dialing Ruiz mid-grapple. Extract. Now. He arrived, siren silent, zip ties clicking. Rosa wailed. Perdón. Micho, as they hauled her. Ethan witnessed fragments, shadows. Sobs, fueling nightmares. Twist's gut punch. Interrogation revealed not cartel, but Jake's prison network. Ex-cons. Grudge-fueled. Using Rosa as pawn. Your man's legacy, Ruiz grunted. Wants you broken from the grave. I laughed. Shattered glass. Legacy? I'd torch it. Climax forged in fire, summer solstice. Full moon mocking. I drove east. Ethan boarded with a trusted sitter. To Visalia's shadow, Jake's old crew holed in a Bakersfield motel. Plotting payback. Elena tipped, her network lingered. Armed with resolve and a Glock. Permit fresh. I rolled solo. Ruiz trailing. Controversial? Suicide by stupidity. Or closure's charge. Motel reeked of despair, cigarette burns, faded astroturf. I knocked. Bait in heels. Door cracked. 3 goons. Tats mapping sins. Delivery for the Hayes fan club. Snickers died as I pressed play on a portable speaker. Jake's confession tape. Elena's ace. Scarlet's untouchable. Hurt her. I bury you all. Bluff. But bluster worked. Chaos erupted, fists flying. Furniture splintering. I fought dirty. Heel to groin. Elbow to throat. Reincarnation's reflexes honed. 1 down. Choking, second zip tied with his own belt. Third bolted. Ruiz nabbing outside. Cops swarmed on my anonymous tip. Cells filling. Dawn broke bloody-knuckled. Me in the ER for stitches. Ruiz nursing a shiner. Your force. Hayes. Force? Frankenstein's. Maybe. Back in Malibu. Ethan clung. Questions bubbling. Bad dreams. Mom? I cupped his face. Over now. Promise. Final twist unveiled in autumn's harvest, a letter. Postmarked Stanford. Jake's scrawl smudged. Smuggled pre-shank. Scar. If you read this. I lost. But Ethan's not mine. DNA test. 21. Lisa's fling. Raise him right. Forgive? Nah. But live. Bomb dropped. World tilting. Ethan. Not his. Blood not binding betrayal. Rage flickered. Then extinguished. Tests confirmed, mine alone. A miracle from our wild youth. No legacy of poison. I burned the letter on the beach. Waves claiming ashes. Ethan roasting marshmallows oblivious. Ending? Not fairy tale. Nor tragedy pure. Happy in fragments. Studio empire. Book on shelves. Podcast echoing resilience. Ethan films sunrises. Secrets his superpower.
Me?
I breathe. Scars mapping roads taken. Reborn not once, but forged in fires plural. America, land of second acts. Third chances. Vengeful hearts. I claimed mine. Cost be damned. And in the quiet, I wonder, if death resets again, would I choose different? Hell no. This chaos? It's life, raw.
Real. Mine.